Yes, so because
On top this matter.
the Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct to multiple streams of income. How
I
you
can
doing, sir?
imagine.
Thank you
I'm
for
good,
joining.
and you're welcome.
Very well.
You're welcome.
So,
Thank you for
after the life,
touring and interpret.
yeah. So after the story last week at
Yeah.
Kodu and Lugbe, a lot of my fans, they're interested and all of that. But how they've been and many questions because many of them they don't get out in the past. You don't understand. So me, I don't tell they say, say normally this one are blast. But it's good that they hear from the horse's mouth, they hear from you directly. So I have some few questions for you, and I'm very sure a lot of them also have questions. Yes.
No problem. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining, sir. Should I just go straight to the questions, or you want to say something first, or?
No, go straight to the question. I'm ready.
Okay. So the first question is, can you tell us about your background and how you got into real estate, sir?
Beautiful. So, for me, real estate, the story is quite funny. I went to SU. I did 8 years instead of 4 years. Graduated, no job. My story is similar to yours as well. Graduated, no job. So I did a CV with a cover letter that says, "Do not pay me for 6 months until I perform." And I printed 100 CVs, and nobody still gave me a job.
For free, sir.
In fact, one of the companies I applied to was Feladro to his company. I remember the years later when we now met, he said, "Who was the person that rejected you? If the person is in this company, we'll fire him.
2 seconds.
If it's not, we'll hire him. They will not fire him."
Wow.
So, because there was no job, one of the easiest thing then was you sell properties for companies. They give you 10% commission when you sell land. So that became the opportunities I could do. So almost 15 years ago, started selling for real estate companies, get commission. And I'm happy I did that because that helped me to understand the industry. I got to understand the business properly. And 2015, we then started our own development company. And we thank God we have over 20 estates today.
Wow.
Like play, the story has changed, yeah.
Wow, amazing stuff, amazing. Wow, that's so nice. From selling properties from other people to owning your own, and you have more than 20 estates. You not talk say you outside Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Because when I read your profile, when I heard your profile, I'm like, wow, in the US and even in Dubai.
Yes, right.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
We do real estate, US, UK, Dubai.
Okay, so Sam, my next question is, so one of the reasons people don't invest in real estate, particularly those people in the diaspora, right, is the fear of being scammed. How can people avoid scams in real estate?
Well,
I got that question. So that question was 90% of all the questions I got whilst I was on tour in your property.
Yeah. Very, very good question. So first of all, let me say that oftentimes what we call scam in real estate is not always the case. Sometimes is not reading the contract, sometimes miscommunication, sometimes is also what we call a woof, the chukbele. So you know how sometimes we're looking for very, very cheap property. Somebody tells you he knows the chief of the place and all of those things. So you end up, buying a land that has already been sold to 4 people. Cheap though, but at the end of the day, it's 5 of you that own the property. So the owner will eventually be the strongest. So first rule I tell people to avoid being scammed, right? Number one, do not buy cheap properties. That's number one. All this, I'm looking for something cheap, 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 because the wahala with property business plenty. So for example, we that were into development, I remember we bought a particular land one time. We bought it directly from the king of that location. And the document shows that he's the owner, right? We
Yes, sir.
paid the man. We started doing fence. Before you know it, old women naked were coming to sight. That the king, it was their community land. The king cheated them. They need the kinikon, and they were moving around the entire property. Now, if you were an investor and you don't know the story that went down, will you not say, you don't see now, that's scam? So, right. Meanwhile, it was the fight between that family and the king. Obviously, maybe he needed to sort them out, and all of those things. Of course, we found a way we resolved the issue between both the king. We made sure some payments were still made to those families as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, in reality, if you are a land developer, and this has happened to a lot of people who rush to go and start real estate. If you don't understand that there will be a lot of other bills that will come behind the scene. After a while, community youth will come, say that they do you must do one thing. So if you don't charge appropriately, you will end up not being able to deliver what you promise your customers. And that's why it's not all those cases that were pure, even though the definition of scam. The definition of scam is that from the onset, I intended to defraud you from the beginning. So if it was issue of challenges along the line of business, that can be customer relation, that can be poor management. But scam is that from day one, I intend to defraud you. And people don't understand the difference. So number one, to avoid those situations, do not buy cheap property, because real estate is no longer cheap in Nigeria. It's about population growth. What leads to real estate prices going higher? Population growth and insecurity. So even the villages, they are coming to the city center, is putting pressure on prices of real estate. So if you are still thinking that, I will buy it at a cheap price, at the end of the day, you went to where they claim is cheap and then you lose so much. That's number one. Number two, is also not buying from credible organizations. So somebody said they just started real estate 1 year, 2 years. You are rushing to buy from them. What's their credibility? What's their history? Who are those behind those companies, right? You see people buying from companies, they don't even know who are behind those companies. So if something goes bad, who do you even hold accountable, right?
Yes,
so it's important to look at what's the credibility of this organization. What have they done before they are telling me to come and buy property from them? What's their antecedents, right? What's their history? You want to have those research being done. Number three, not understanding land titles and documents. So, for example, everything people go to shout now and C of O. Meanwhile, technically, C of O means say you dey rent the property from government for 99 years. So, in other words, and we don't even know what will happen after 99 years, because the law, has not explained. What the law just says that the government has the power to give C of O. So after 99 years, know what will happen. Whether the governor will say, come and pay new money or what. So, so we don't even understand this thing. So because, yes, there are certain land that if they don't have C of O, they demolish it, and then they don't compensate the owners of those land. But that doesn't happen to all lands. So you can always buy a land, even if it doesn't have C of O, and go and process C of O. Some state governors, like Oyo State now, in 90 days, your C of O will come out. So if you can't afford a land that has C of O, because those land with C of O, they are premium. Prices are way higher, right? And you have to pay a lot more. You might, want to buy the ones without C of O, but make sure you have professionals helping you to know There is not a land on the road where they have planned they are going to, like where you went to in Lugbe. Behind us is a major express road that will be passing that place.
Yes.
Meanwhile, if you don't know that, and this is why you have to really deal with know their onions well. When we buy property, we know the entire map of the city. We know what will happen even if they have not done it. So right there now, you will see those mountain top. You assume there is no man's land. Meanwhile, there is a master plan for a 4-lane expressway in that place. So it may take another 20 years before government does it, but it's been there. So if you now go and buy such land that is already on the road, you're even if it has C of O. I know a land, for example, in Lagos, it has governor's consent self, but that land falls under what we call a coastal road, where the government intend to build coastal road in Lagos, right? So if you buy that one, even with your governor's consent, when the day to do that road, they will still demolish it. The only difference is that they may compensate you, right, for taking. So people don't understand land sizes, title document. So once they just hear, na scam, everybody shouting, they don't scam me,
They don't scam me,
so,
yes.
and not everything is scam. Again, we're just that way. In fact, I remember somebody bought one of our properties and we charge development levy and documentation fee, because when you buy property, you still have to change it to your name. The survey must now be changed to your name. There must be a deed of assignment in your name, because that's what officially transfer the land from the seller to the buyer legally. And the lawyer that is doing that will collect some commission, will collect some money. So, and this particular client had paid for land. It was now time to pay for documents. But he said, no, I'm not paying any document. Oh, they are, I know, I've heard of you. You're a man of integrity. This is looking like scam. I said, madam, calm down now. Abba. First of all, what is a scam? Because we use words loosely. And it's affecting us politically as well. That's why, because if you're in a system where you say every government official is a fraud, then you can't have a good system, because everybody can't be. So you must be able to separate what is what, right? An issue of maybe you were not properly communicated or you didn't read the contract well, don't call it scam, right? You can say they didn't communicate well to you, misinformation, but so I tell people, understand all these things. Once you have proper understanding, you'll be fine. The last thing I advise to avoid scam is deal with people. Have like an investment mentor. And don't come and tell me your lawyer is your investment mentor, because how many estates your lawyer don't get for your home? So people, Yoruba will say, everybody who's going to help you when it comes to real estate investment or any other investment, make sure they have results in that field, right? If I'm guiding you to say, okay, come and buy this Lugbe estate, I don't use my own money, right? I don't already buy 25 acres for there with my own money. So if I'm telling you to come and buy 1 plot or 2 plots, right? I couldn't have been foolish to buy what does not make sense. You don't know how many research has gone into that land to be sure that it is a land that will increase in value and will get so much. And that's why I tell people, when you want to say you want mentorship, let it be somebody who has results.
Yes.
Not just, because the biggest mistake we make in Africa, and because we are communal by design, is we take advice from people who don't have result in the area we're asking them advice for. You say a married woman going to ask a divorcee or a single, with due respect, there's nothing wrong with being a divorcee, by the way, but it's not wisdom, right, for you to be married and then your counselor or marriage matter, right, has had challenges in their marriage. It is not wisdom. And that's what we often do. You see, you are married, your best friend is single, and then when you have challenges with your husband, that's the person you go and seek counsel. There's just no way you make progress. So I think ultimately, people should stop getting counsel about investment, whether it's real estate or otherwise, from people who don't have the result. You see somebody based in the UK, she wants to buy land. It's her cousin in Lagos that does not have one plot of land. And you say, hey, I'm even trying to buy land for Lagos. This company, what do you think? This area, what do you think? I don't. Now, at the end of the day, when such person, maybe the person now lead you to a wrong investment, you now say, family members are wicked. The
Yes.
same person asked you for $100 2 months ago. You did not send. Now you are sending $50,000 to the person to help you buy property. How do you think the person is seeing you?
You go say, don't reach my turn now. Okay.
Exactly. So those are my few. There are many more, but I'll stop there.
Wow, that's very insightful. Credible authority, do your due diligence, read the contract properly, and when you want to find mentor, make sure you use your HQ. Well, that's really insightful. Thank you very much, sir.
You need to
So I'm
teach
going straight to
me
the
this broken language. It is sweet for your mouth. Like it's always so sweet. When
Dr. Stephen, now we take the shop. Now Pidgin English we take the shop.
I'm
We
telling
keep this English
you,
podcast we straight to Pidgin. Now we blow. But when na English they
I
work
need
on.
to learn. I need to learn this PG. No,
I'm
you
gonna
go work
teach
for me
you.
too.
I'll teach you. Okay, so the first question was how you got into real estate. The second one was how to how will I put it in question now? The second question, when I understand what they talk, fraud, scam. Not all the situations are scam. You have to understand everything. Put a lot of things into consideration. First of all, don't buy cheap land. That one basically say sometimes that from where they'll say come and buy land. You get one. There's one flyer I think I saw. I think after church I saw it in my got that in windscreen. Buy one land and get two. I be buy one land and get one. You fear yourself, people catch me. As if say the land na slice
Now,
of bread.
water.
I'm
Now,
telling you. Okay, sir. So the third question is for those that don't know much about real estate, what are the different methods to get started?
okay. So there are different types of real estate. I've even been doing a training on 10 types of real estate investment that you can go into. There's brokerage, there's short let, there's real estate consultancy, there's rental income, there's property flipping, there's fractional real estate investment, there's property development, there's land banking. So there are different aspects of real estate investment, and it's always a function of your budget. How much do you have? But the three most affordable ones. One is called short let. Short let. I even have somebody in Abuja that I mentored in this. You can rent an apartment for a year, get the right of the landlord, furnish the apartment, but make sure you are using Asokoro or Mitama, highbrow locations, and then start renting it out on a short let. You realize that you make almost 300% of what you paid as rent. And before you know it, from one property, you have 100 properties you're managing from in a short let model. So these are a lot more affordable, not too expensive, types of real estate investment. You also have the option of rental income, where you buy a property and then you rent it out. So you are making money from renting it. Meanwhile, there's something called capital appreciation. In other words, the value of the property keeps rising while you're still getting rental income.
Yeah.
But sometimes this also can be expensive to do. So I advise that you can start with what we call off-plan sales. Off-plan sales is you are paying for the property gradually, the house that you're buying. So let's say the house is worth 100 million. They say, okay, deposit 20 million or 10 million, pay in 3 years. What will happen is that the same property that you started paying for at 100 million, by the time you will be done paying in 3 years later, the value will have been 150, or sometimes it will have been even as high as 200 million. So the value will have gone way up. right? Another model of real estate investment is property real estate investment trust, where you are not buying real estate, but you are, or fractional real estate investment. You are leaving all the risk to the developer, but you're giving him your money, and then he has a guarantee return, or there's a return on a regular basis, that yearly or quarterly or something coming to you. So that's also one major model, and it works like fire. And I've had to mentor a lot of people in this area. The last one is called land banking. That's the one you went to inspect.
Yeah.
That like yes, like the Lugbe land. I remember when we started that place, it was going for 4 million just less than 3 years ago. Right now, it's as high between 10 to 15 million. So, and before we got there, people were not building as fast as you've seen it. I mean, as you went there now, you saw that almost the entire
It's developed.
yes, it's developed. Then it wasn't. So land banking is that you look at an area where population growth is moving, you go and buy land there, you leave it for a few years, 5 to 10 years. The value will have gone way up in those period of time. You can now decide to sell it after it's gone up, or you now develop it and rent it out. But it's one of the most efficient way, affordable way, realistic way of building wealth that I have seen. I mean, some of the land I started buying for 70,000, some are going for 10 million today. And I bought some 100 acres, 200 acres,
Wow.
and I left them for years. Over time, they kept growing higher and higher and higher. And so instead of leaving money in the bank, we call it savings account. They are shaving your hair because they are not even giving returns, right? And you just have, and your money is being devalued. The value, what a 50 million naira could buy 2 years ago, you can't buy now, right? You probably would need 75 million to buy it now because of inflation.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
leaving your money in the bank is not wisdom. But when you do land banking, your money is working for you while you're sleeping. Warren Buffett says that, until you find a way to make money while you sleep, you might have to work till you die. And I think a lot of us miss this aspect. Even entertainers, even public speakers, we miss this. We forget that being an entertainer, being a public speaker, I do a lot of public speaking as well, is self-employment. You still need, if you know show, they no go pay you,
True
right?
that.
So, and if you still rely on that, there's diminishing return, right? There's an actor, very big legend, that the story went viral. The wife was accusing him of all sorts. When he came to share his own side of the story, he says the money matter. Since he's not been able to work anymore, and that's what's causing the issue. As you go older, there's a lot of diminishing return. You may not be able to earn as you used to when things were. So you have to put in a structure to continue to make money even in your latter years. And that's part of real estate investment comes in, where you're able to build lasting wealth that years, generations to come are eating off the wealth and the investment that you've made.
Wow. This one.
Hello, are you there?
And yeah, I said, like, get away from my phone. Get one what I want to carry go. So, wow. Okay, thank you very much for answering that question very well. Thank you very much. And I think we have two more questions here. And I think that's the fourth one. So the fourth question is, do you advise people to invest in Nigeria or outside Nigeria? What would you advise?
Beautiful question. Beautiful question. I would say it depends. First of all, sometimes when people even say, I want to invest outside Nigeria, the question is, can you afford it? Right? The cheapest property we sell here in Dubai, for example, is about $380,000. Right? Personally, I even specialize more on properties that are way higher than that, from $5 million upward. I have one for $46 million here in Dubai. So, but the cheapest you will get is about $380,000. So, how many people have that kind of money? Most properties in the UK, US as well, are almost like $500,000 and above. Yes, if you're a US citizen or UK citizen, you can get a mortgage. So absolutely, that works. But not everyone, is in that situation. So it depends. If you're a citizen of the US or UK, or you're resident of Dubai, why not do that? Even if you are in Nigeria and you can afford, right, to invest in Dubai or UK, why not? Because you earn foreign FX, your tenant will be paying you in dollars, and when you change that to naira, at least you go buga them small, right? so, so yes, it's a function of your income, but I always say this: life is in phases, men are in sizes. Live your size part time, right?
This one your power
If you
reach.
cannot, yes, if you can't afford property outside, you never even do Nigeria now. Outside Nigeria, one country, right? So. So start from home. Don't copy anybody. I was on Daddy Free show the other day, and I was telling him, I said, you that you are saying Rolex is giving more returns than real estate. Are you are you a tenant? Right? How come you don't already get your own property? There's some talk where you go, they talk when you don't arrive. And now you way you never arrive, may you just take careful. Me now, I dey do video now. You go see me for on top of Rolls Royce. I go say, forget Rolls Royce, invest in real estate. Rolls Royce is nothing, but I don't get her. Okay, you way you never get her, right? Don't copy me, right? So there are certain things that some of us can say, and I always say that as much as you are learning from us, also analyze your own situation where you are part-time, okay? And based on where you are part-time, then you say, based on here, then I can make this move. I remember years ago where I couldn't even afford to live in Ikeja. My office was in Ikeja, but I was in Songwater with my wife, okay? And because that was more affordable, the cost of getting even one bedroom in Ikeja was way
What year
more
was
than
this? What year was this, sir?
this was 2012. Okay,
Wow.
2012. So I had to live in Songwater for a couple of years. But today now, I mean, in Dubai here, I live in Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. So life is in phases, men are in sizes. You live your size part time.
Yes,
No
so
go,
life
they
na
copy
jeté by
anybody.
jeté. Life na
Yeah,
jeté by jeté. If you drop like monkey, you
yes.
fall. Everything for this life na HQ. All right, thank you very much, sir. So now this is the last questions, guys. Please, I need your questions. That's how you can put your. I don't know if you put your questions on the comment section. I don't know. The thing go to move fast. So I think you can put it in this comment box. I think there's a comment box here. Okay, is this question mark? Okay. No, voila. So the last question, I mean, what about those that want to get mentored in real estate, and how can they get started?
Beautiful. And by the way, I've had a great time. The only regret I have is that I wish I can speak in broken, I motivate people, because I've never seen a wafi motivational speaker like Wari Pikin. Like, you, yeah, you are the first of your kind, first in her name. You know,
First in my kind. That's it.
yes, a Game of Thrones. When they introduce people, they mention their name. They say first in his lineage.
Kind. Yeah.
Yeah, the first in your lineage.
Hey, I'm teach you
So,
small. I'm teach you small pigeon. I'm teach you small.
okay,
Are you
teach me
ready?
small, I beg.
Just
Yes.
say, Gafana. What to the sup?
Guy, how far now? What did they sup? What did they sup? Use your HQ.
You know, say
Use your
millions don't block your throat. So I know the 2 year you were. You know,
Use your HQ. Start investing for real estate.
That land banking place. So when you get one, when you say strong forever, law of diminishing return. You get where you go rich because the plan this one what they do so. You get where you go for life, they sleep more. Your work not make you never start. That's how you talk. Year 2023, I don't really open my eye. That land banking. Get on my for Facebook. I can't remember where I saw the video. They say 15 years ago she buy one land. 1.5 years later she sell at 90.
Wow.
On Facebook, one woman had 90 million naira. She said, which was something 1.5 billion.
Wow.
2 years later, just buy the land, just the press, the way that woman. So that I don't start that, but I think I need to do more the banking work. Yeah. And I love something you remember about your land, right? So the key one, the land you are paying for services. I don't know that word services as well. You know, sometimes land and everything just come if you not see the land again or something. So that help you the time you are going to buy the land before you resell, before you develop it. It's going to help you, like, you know, maintain it. And I don't know if you was explaining something like that they are not too.
The network is quite terrible. I'm struggling to hear you. Yeah, okay. I'm struggling to hear you, but I think your last question, because I'm not sure I answered that, was about mentorship, right?
Yeah.
So those who want to be mentored, what I always say about this is there are two models. If you have money at least 5 million and above and you want to invest in real estate, you can always call the number I'm going to be typing right now, right? But for some of us who don't even have any money at all, but you can sell, you can always go and join our community of GTEX and associates and sell land for us, houses, and earn commission. You know, and I think this way everybody is covered. So if you can buy, you can call this team. We have a team of advisors. We call them wealth advisors. They are going to be there to attend to you. If you can help me pin it. So the number is +234-8188-111-999. You can call, and our team are ready to support you. Or if you want to learn, if you want to learn how to sell real estate because you can't even afford to buy one, you can visit gtexandassociate.com, sign up and join the WhatsApp community, and you will be supported. So, or you can also visit GTEX Homes Abuja, because the ones that Wari Pikin promoted was the Abuja estates. So you can, we have Asaba, we have Port Harcourt, we have Ibadan, Abeokuta, Lagos, Dubai, US, UK. So we're spread across. So no excuse. You have different options you can take from. And that's how we can support you and mentor you. Our team of wealth advisors are professionals. They're going to ask you what's your budget, I advise that you state your budget. Sometimes people will reach out and say, what's your budget? They don't have budget. Say how much. Okay, we won't inflate the price. The budget just helps us to know which of the properties we can recommend, right? So, for example, I remember somebody said, I want to buy property in Dubai. So I said, what's your budget? They said, open budget. I said, no, I won't attend to you if you can't tell me your budget. You know what the person said? So what, how about $500 to buy property in Dubai? You know, so
We
yeah, I know. So it's $500. So
but don't you
please,
say do the one your power reach. You have to cut your coat according to. She's telling you, or brother is telling you what you can afford.
which is why you should state your budget. Let's know your budget, because once we know your budget, it's easy to then recommend what the options within your budget. Yes, we are in Asaba, we're in Lagos, we're in Abuja, we're in different parts. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So that's all my questions, but I want to take one or two from what is the definition of cheap property? Somebody is asking, what is the definition of cheap property?
I don't understand that question. Okay. Basically, what we're saying is that when there's a property rush, say, right, compared to other sellers, if a property is cheap, there's always a reason why. If they are doing promo, why are they doing promo? Like, for example, when we want to launch a new estate, we normally give 50% discount. Why? As at the time we're launching a new estate, we're looking for money, right? So we are literally going to sell at the price we are buying, because we're trying to add your money to part of the money we have to pay for the entire land. So always ask those questions. Why is it cheap? There must be a reason. For something to just be affordable or cheap, others are selling for X price. These other ones are selling and you say, oh, I'm lucky. It's favor. A lady once did that. I was telling her, she saw this property in Aja. This was 7 years ago. Said it was going for 8 million per plot. And I told her, I said, you can't find anywhere in Aja for 8 million. Right? It's way higher. And she said, no, it's favor, divine favor. That's even on the express. Well,
God cannot do does not exist.
What God cannot do does not exist. 1 year later, she was asking me I should recommend the best lawyer I know in real estate matter. I said, what happened? He said the 2 plots she bought the land is on the express. Apparently there's supposed to be expressway that will pass there. It's on the road. It was when they wanted to start construction. Another surveyor came and said, no, this land is on the road. I said, but I told you, didn't I? I told you that this thing you want to buy, so sometimes we just love, and particularly this happened to a lot of people in diaspora. They've not been at home for a long time. So maybe years ago when they used to be in Nigeria, properties were going for, I'm just giving an example, maybe 1 million, 2 million in certain area. And as of today, maybe that area has gone to as high as 50 million. So their brain can't process. So when you tell them it's even 2 million in that area, in their mind, it used to be 1 million when I was in Nigeria. Now it's 2 million. Oh, good offer, right? Meanwhile, the value has gone way up. It's probably now 50 million. So it's good to know, because most cases of scam that I've seen that are usually that the prices were even ridiculous. All this flexible payment. They ask you the land is 5 million, but you can be paying 100,000 every month or something. In reality, that is not realistic, because what will have happened to that developer is that 1,000 people will have paid 100,000. You see the problem. Meanwhile, maybe they only have 200 plots. Meanwhile, 1,000 people started paying 100,000. They may have had the hope that they will buy more, But guess what happened? They started selling to you, let's assume it was 5 million. Now, the family they were buying from, once they launch, it happens to the price. Once they launch that estate. Meanwhile, they have told you already for 5 million. So it took you 3 years to finish. It took you 3 years to finish paying them.
That's the
Meanwhile,
it's taking you to pay the family.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the family that sold the land to even the developer has doubled that price. So it will now become a case of, they didn't want to allocate to me, they don't scam me.
Okay, so that's the allocation problem. Sir, are you here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so just take
I can
one
hear
last
you now.
question.
It's a bit breaking, but I think I can hear you now.
Yes, now Dubai network. Okay, so I'll take one last question. Why do they add extra of up to 7 million after developing? Why do real estate?
Beautiful question.
Yes, why did they add
Beautiful
extra?
question.
Yes.
Beautiful question. I even had somebody complain about this. So she bought a property from us in Asaba. And the value of document and development was even more than the land itself, and she was complaining. So I explained to her, I said, the same cost of building in Lagos is the same with Asaba. But the price of land in Lagos is higher than Asaba. Cement, cost of block, cost of iron, right, is the same across Nigeria, isn't it? But cost of land is not the same. And for those who understand construction, they know how high building cost has gone due to inflation in Nigeria and all of that. And the development fee is what guarantees that nobody will encroach on your land. It means the company will fence the land around. They will put gates, they will put security. In future, they will put drainage. Be say they enter your house, right? And the whole place is flooded. And you can, I mean, we know what people go through in some parts of Nigeria today. Very expensive houses, but you can't even enter your house. Why? Because they didn't do proper drainage. How much will it have cost to have developed that place in a proper way? So many of us, we buy in areas that, at the end of the day, to even access your house, we know what's going on. Where you may even spend 2 hours to get to your house because of traffic. The road we're supposed to get 4 lanes, now only 1 lane, they go in and out. These are part of the problem of Nigeria. No proper planning when doing estates. I wish you come to our Lagos, one of our Lagos estates. You see how we have started. We have done the interlocking. We started doing a whole lot of structure to make it a world-class estate. So for that, even what they are charging development, it's not even going to cut it into the future. So we are hoping that those who are buying houses in those estates, that part of the profit from selling house will cover up for the infrastructure that needs to be in those estates. So these are very, very important aspects, because sometimes you might be dealing with people, and I've said this many times, that it's difficult to do business with integrity in Nigeria, because we oftentimes don't like the truth, and we just want people who can sweet talk us. Don't worry, with 100,000, you don't become landlord. With 100,000, landlord. Right? Don't worry. No extra charge, no any charge. I was telling somebody, I said, even here in Dubai, you buy house here in Dubai, percent for registering the house, guarantee. You buy a house in the US, the same. There is property tax. In the UK, there is property tax, and that property tax is to develop that area, right, by the council. So when you now come to Nigeria, you need to pay for documents. You need to be, what are you people saying? And this is why we have quack estates. We have poorly planned estates. I mean, haven't you seen them? They call it estate. And you say, what is estate about this estate?
It's not estating. It's not giving.
What is the estate about the estate?
I tell you.
No planning, no drawing. All our estates now, we go show you 3D drawing. Where hotels supposed to, where gates go day, where even though we've not done it, it's already planned. So you want to, and that's part of why the value will go up into the future, because it's a planned estate.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. This was very insightful. Right now, sir, we've learned a lot of things. I've unlearned and relearned a lot of things as regards real estate. Thank you very much, sir, for joining and sharing.
Wow. Jeremiah says, true, sir. My clients are so happy I introduced them to GTEx Homes to buy property at Jasper Gardenia, Lagos. Thank you, Jeremiah, for that positive testimony. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Jeremiah. I'm not saying my number. Jeremiah, check your DM. I'm not saying your account. There are a lot of testimonies. Even while we're live, from the beginning, I saw a lot of people, there were really good testimonies. And we have more questions, but it's almost 1 hour. We have to go.
Yeah.
We have to go. If you have more questions, you have the number to call. You can send text on really quick. Really, so stay in this life long time, but of course, ask more questions via the number that's pinned on the comment section. And if you're just joining, this is Dr. Stephen Akintayo, the CEO of GTEx. I'm going to save this live so you can watch it from the beginning again. It's very insightful. Make sure, so when you watch them, you carry your jotter and your biro by the side to jot things down. Hey, deep. That was deep. Okay, sir. Is there any other thing you want to say?
Well, use your HQ. That's all.
Not chop and monkey. Do what your power reach. Make get your your due diligence. Not they follow all those people who go buy one land, get 20 free, get a mentor. You need to people will go be your make it be people where don't reach where you want to go. Hey, deep. Oh, deep.
That's Rema. Rema.
Yeah. Rema. Follow who knows. Hey, Wala. So that's it. But this is thing. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had a wonderful time. Thank you. I love what you're doing. The first person that introduced you to me was Pastor Glory. Remember Pastor Glory for Benin? Pastor Glory Okodua. This was many years ago, and he was just talking about your story. He was just talking about your story that he knew you. Yeah, that your story is that of what God cannot do